honorable members present in this August evening, the DG ACI APAC Board, Stefano Barunchi, and CEO DIAL, Mr. Vidya Kumar Jaipuria ji, and Secretary Civil Aviation, Walnam ji, DG DGCFS Kidwai ji, Vipin Kumar ji, our AI Chairman, and my team from the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and all the representatives of their respective airports, regions, countries, and all the important stakeholders who are here. A very good evening to each and every one of you, and my namaskar, namaste to each and every one of you. It is indeed an immense honor to welcome all participants from across the Asia-Pacific region to this esteemed gathering. The Airport Council International Asia-Pacific and Middle East Regional Assembly Conference and Exhibition. And I would like to begin thanking the Airport Council International for bringing together regional partners toward a shared commitment to safe, sustainable, and connected air travel. I also extend my sincere appreciation to GMR Group and DIAL for their invaluable support in hosting the program and promoting excellence in airport management and operations. And I would also like to personally thank them for having the event preponed to today's evening, as we were supposed to have this event tomorrow morning, but due to some other commitments, they have been kind enough to accommodate the schedule so that they can have the event today. So once again, my sincere thanks to the whole team who has been organizing this event. And to talk about India, India is the fastest growing aviation market, and we are all proud to host and engage with ACI, which champions innovation and excellence in aviation, serving around 800 members, operating around 1,200 airports in about 170 countries across the globe, and when it comes to Asia Pacific, up to the tune of 44 countries. India is rapidly expanding, digitizing, and positioning ourselves as one of the global leaders in aviation. Today, we are the third largest domestic aviation market in the whole world, and our geographical advantage uniquely positions India as the global gate, connecting not only the east to the west, but also serving the deep domestic market in India with unmatched growth potential. I believe this dual capacity of international linkage and domestic potential places India ahead in the global hub race. Under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, air travel in India has evolved from being an exclusive privilege to an inclusive opportunity. Over 350 million passengers take to the skies annually, and in the past decade itself, domestic air passenger traffic has grown at a steady rate of 10 to 12%, which is one of the best in the world, and this is the growth that we have seen in the country today. PM's visionary regional connectivity UDAN scheme has already benefited 1.5 crore people by affordable airfares. Through UDAN, we have operationalized 88 new airports in the country, and we have connected 619 new routes, making air travel more accessible, especially to the newly built airports in these Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in the country. And we are now expanding the scheme. We have started this UDAN scheme under the visionary leadership of our Prime Minister from 2016 to 2026. But now, considering the success that we have achieved in this UDAN scheme, we are expanding it for 10 more years, and we want to connect 120 more new destinations in the coming 10 years, connecting 4 crore people in the next 10 years. And to support this local demand, we have doubled our airports, the number of airports in the country. If you consider from 2014, what used to be 74 airports in the country, we have increased it up to 159. We have people from different regions and different countries. I don't think anyone could imagine this number of doubling the airports in their country. But 74 to 159, that is the capacity at which the Indian airports have grown in the last 10 years. And when we talk about this number, we are not just looking at airports as mere transit hubs, just these huge structures that you're building with concrete, steel, and glass, or just these huge parcels of land where you're just ferrying passengers from one place to another. And the number that I've spoken about from 74 to 159, every number that we are adding to these airports list, it is not just a number that we are adding to the tally, but it is giving another gateway to the opportunities, to the connectivity and aspirations to 140 crore people of this country. And as the Asia Pacific airport community is here today, discussing development of our airports as global gates, I would like to share the vision before all of you regarding the airport development in the country. We have to realize that the growth of every airport in every country, in every region, is the passenger. In fact, I'd like to consider the analogy where the airports are like the grandparents, airlines are like the parents, and the passengers are like the children. And it is the responsibility of the grandparents and the parents to take care of the children. And airports and airlines, the topmost priority is to cater for the passengers, to create convenient, to create comfortable and accessible, seamless travel for all the passengers that we are trying to facilitate. And I believe that passengers are like guests who we invite to our home. Just as we would ensure every aspect for the stay is welcoming and comfortable, airports too must provide for an environment where every moment at the airport is pleasant and memorable. For us in India, just like how Videji has mentioned, we believe in the ethos of Atithi Devo Bhava, which means that every guest is equal to God. And at our airports, we must treat our passengers equal to God. Let's not look at our airports as just mere transit points, but it should make the passengers feel like they are being at home. I am of the view that airports should not invoke anxiety about catching a flight, and the stay at the airports due to any possible delay or related to any technical glitch or any weather-related issues must not be overwhelming for the passengers when they spend those extra minutes at the airport. And I can see that the way we address is by evolving our airports into living entities, by incorporating the aspect of culture, technology, personalized services for the passengers, and sustainability, enriching the overall passenger experience. As India's Aviation Minister, I am proud of the architecture and design of our airports, invoking peacefulness, comfort, culture, giving travelers an immersive experience that almost feels like home. The new terminal at Varanasi Airport is inspired by the Kashi Vishwanath Temple and the Lord Shiva's Trishul. And Agra's terminal reflects the Rajput elegance of Fatehpur Sikri. Darbhanga terminal in Bihar draws the vibrant Mithila art into picture. Bagdogra Airport depicts the Himalayan mountains. Tirchi's airport in the south of India, its new terminal is inspired by the temples and their architecture of South India. And the GMR airport we are developing at Bhogapuram in the state of Andhra Pradesh has culture of North India, North Andhra imbibed in its architecture. Our airports are a gateway to our soul, comforting the passenger by connecting him to the living art and the tradition. Bamboo art at Bengaluru, Worli art at Pune, Gond art at Jabalpur airports connects passengers with the regional heritage, bringing a refreshing breeze of culture and thoughtfulness to the journey. On behalf of our airports, we have compiled a coffee table book that showcases the architectural marvels of our airports and how they reflect our local culture and heritage. I would encourage all the different airport operators and the managers who are here to pick up one book and keep them in their own lounges so that they can showcase it to the passengers abroad or in their local region on how important airports are in showcasing their local art. And when a traveler steps into the Indian airport, they feel the India's essence. Our airport spaces tell India's story, connecting our people and international traveler with our nation's identity and progress. Consider some exemplary comforting initiatives at our airports. At the Bhubaneswar International Airport in the state of Odisha, the Flibrary initiative allows passengers to access a free library at the airport. Mumbai International Airport has started the Perfect initiative where therapy dogs are offered to comfort the passengers. Our airports have meditation rooms, and Bengaluru's Kempegowda International Airport has taken a step further with sensory room for neurodivergent passengers, offering soft lighting and calming tools to ease sensory overload. For Divyang travelers or the specially abled people, our airports are equipped with key facilities including wheelchair assistance, accessible restrooms, dedicated check-in counters, accessible lifts, and braille-coded keys, priority security screening, and braille signage. Inclusivity should be at the core of our progress at the airports, extending beyond passengers to encompass all airport stakeholders. We have just recently inaugurated Akshi the pink abode barrack exclusively for female staff at the Delhi International Airport. The pink themed barrack reflects our focus on providing comfort, privacy, and amenities to women's security forces stationed at our airports. Centered around the idea of ease of flying and inclusive flying, we have introduced Udan Yatri cafes offering hygienic, high-quality food at affordable prices starting at just rupees 20 in the country. Based on the feedback that I got as a minister, because we have included more and more passengers coming from lower middle class and the middle class into the picture, we wanted them to have accessible food at the airports also, and we have done that through setting up Udan Yatri cafes. We need to think of every passenger as an individual with unique needs. In a flight, when he's traveling by the airlines, he gets a choice. There is a business executive class, there is an executive class, economy class, first class, what kind of food that he selects, what kind of aisle seat that he selects. So there is a good choice for him in the airlines. Now, similar kind of personalized services should need to start in the airports itself. In the airport, you'll see that the persons are traveling with different objectives. There can be one attending a business meeting, there can be one family attending a vacation, or there can be a tourist or a student or someone with a medical emergency, and each one of these personalized passenger might have a specific need. So instead of looking at in a general way of covering every passenger in the similar pool, how do we cater in individualizing the services that we offer at the airports is something, a cause for innovation that we still have to think about. And I feel that as we offer personalized services to passenger airports, then the more inclusivity is going to come into the picture. And the next thing I wanted to highlight is how technology can shape passenger experience. As the Industry Revolution 4.0 is redefining the world around us, we are also equipping our airports with modern technology, and just like Airport Predictive Operations Center, the APOC Center to manage operations, using real-time data from airside and terminal side and dynamically deploying resources like additional check-in counters, additional baggage belts, ground staff and infrastructure, and how do we efficiently use our resources. And AI and other airport operators in India are deploying these digital twins, virtual airport models to enable real-time decision making. And last year on 11th of December, I happened to inaugurate the Airport Predictive Operations Center at GMR International Airport in Hyderabad. And it was very impressive to see how they were getting real-time data and trying to visualize the picture in a digital twin and efficiently utilize their resources so they can cater for the needs at that very specific time. And I believe with the technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and big data, we can revolutionize the services that we are offering to these passengers at the airports. And a shining example in our country is the Digi Yatra initiative, which is leveraging facial recognition for seamless, paperless check-in, security, and boarding. Operational at 24 airports in the country, including the Delhi International Airport, Digi Yatra has significantly reduced the terminal congestion, cutting average processing times from sometimes up to 5 minutes to now bringing it down to up to 5 seconds. Since its launch, over 1 crore passengers have downloaded the Digi Yatra app, and it has been used for more than 5 crore times in the country, and we are now scaling up to more airports in the country also. And I would also like to mention about the Trusted Traveler program for faster immigration at the Indian airports. Once registered, travelers can complete the immigration process by simply scanning their boarding pass at the passenger e-gates. And upon successful e-authentication, the gates automatically open, granting immigration clearance. So we are taking multiple initiatives to simplify and expedite the passenger movement in the airports. And with this, we are decongesting various checkpoints, let it be the entry point or the boarding gate or the security check-in, to offer seamless experience within the airport infrastructure. And I am also overseeing the enhancement of Air Seva portal, which is a grievance portal. If someone has any kind of problem at the airport or with the airlines or with the check-in at the boarding, so they can immediately go to the app or the website and register their grievance so that the ministry or the airports or the necessary stakeholders can take care of it and ensure that this kind of issue does not get repeated next time. And to ensure passenger satisfaction is at the highest also. And at the Skytrax World Airport Awards 2025, Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport was named the best airport in India and South Asia, and Bengaluru's International Airport was recognized as best regional airport in India and South Asia, praised for its passenger experience. And I feel immensely proud to see how Indian airports are embracing cutting-edge technologies to revolutionize our aviation infrastructure. For instance, there have been smart trolley systems, IoT-enabled airfield lighting, and innovative taxi bots. These are all significantly reducing the fuel consumption during taxiing of the aircraft. And these advancements highlight India's dedication to create a smarter, safer, and more efficient ecosystem. And we are continuously learning from the global practices, as well as RFID baggage tracking implemented by Hong Kong International Airport, effectively using data analytics at airports at Dubai. These are some of the new technologies that are coming in, which India can also learn in the future. And when you're sitting in conferences like this, the major benefit is that you learn from each other and you take the best and implement in your regional airports. And then I must also add that passenger safety and security at the airports is something of utmost importance and very much non-negotiable. I was been talking about how we involve technology, how do we personalize our services to the passenger at the airports, and how do we involve architecture in coordinates with the local heritage and art. But while doing all this, we have to remember that we shouldn't compromise on the safety and security that we offer to the passengers. That should be the topmost priority for each and every one of us. And we have to do that by implementing multi-layered cyber security measures also for providing security to the passenger data that gets collected at the airports. This is one concern that keeps coming up every now and then, because there is a lot of data accumulation that happens at the airports, and the passenger needs that confidence that whatever data, let it be his fingerprints, let it be his biometrics or his personal data that gets collected, is very much safe and private within the systems that we create. And also the air traffic management, using predictive analytics and minimize delays, we have to create centralized air traffic flow management system to decongest the airspace congestion also. And through this, we can reduce the carbon footprint of aviation sector in the country. And this brings us to also talk about sustainability. In fact, I participated in the Davos World Economic Forum this year, and when we were participating, in fact, Raju Garu from GMR Group was also there with me, and when we were participating in aviation-related discussions, the major concern was about sustainability. So this is something which is inevitable for us. We all as airport managers should think about how do we bring in more sustainability into our airport ecosystem, and how we are doing it in India. At Airport Authority of India operated airports, 90% of annual electricity is met through renewable resources, reducing carbon emissions by 2.3 lakh tons of CO2 annually. And a total of 81 airports in India out of the 159 mentioned have switched to 100% green energy, shrinking aviation's carbon footprint. And our terminal buildings are getting greener and greener, adopting local source materials, low carbon concrete, maximizing natural lighting, and using energy efficient equipment for more energy conservation. The soon to be operational airport in Jewar sets to become Asia's largest, with initial investment of almost 10,000 crores and designed to achieve net zero emissions, setting a global benchmark. And airports like Delhi have also achieved the highest level of accreditation in carbon neutrality also. And EVs, electric vehicles, are also being used at a very high level in these airports in terms of ground handling or passenger movement. So sustainability is something which every airport needs to take very, very seriously, and that also brings to the topic of sustainable aviation fuel. This was also something which is going to be inevitable. Countries are creating their own mandates. India has a mandate of 1% in international flights by 2027, and 2% by 28, and 5% by 2030. We are encouraging the industry to produce this SAF. But what becomes more important is when you bring the SAF to the airport, you need that sufficient infrastructure or the standards so that it can be integrated with the regular system seamlessly. Let there be no friction, but right now you see that there is a friction in the kind of production that's happening with the SAF. But once the SAF is ready, it is available in the market, then the integration within our airport operations should be ready with us also. So that needs to be for us to be considering in the future. And I would also like to congratulate GMR for always being at the forefront when it comes to innovation and technologies. GMR has been implementing many first in the industry initiatives helping towards aviation sustainability, airport productivity, and passenger experience. And I take pride in the fact that GMR is the largest private airport operator in Asia and operates two of the top 4 airports in the country, which is Delhi and Hyderabad. And they are operating 2 more also, and many more to come in the future. In fact, GMR is one of the largest operators in the world, handling about 100 million passengers annually. So it is very much apt for them to host this event and give a direction for all of us to see how do we grow collectively together in creating much better standards at the airports and all of us learning from each other in the future. And as we expand our aviation network, I envision Indian airports as not just gates to the world, but as gates to the heart of India, where every passenger traveling carries the very essence of India with him. Together, as we gather here as airport stakeholders, it is crucial to recognize the profound significance and potential of airports. We need to develop them as not mere transit hubs, but as ecosystems that hold the power to transform economies and potential to keep our traditions vibrant, and at the core, bring people across the globe closer to each other. The challenge ahead is to reimagine how can we better utilize our spaces at our airports by integrating commerce, culture, technology, convenience, and sustainability without compromising on safety and security. We can redefine airports as thriving ecosystems connecting local communities to global aspirations. I urge all ACI members here today to synergize their efforts for promoting ease of flying. Together, let us build a future where flying is not just a mode of transportation, but a seamless, inclusive, and transformative experience for each and every one of us. And I am truly happy that the Asia Pacific region has met here today, because if you talk about global aviation, the key player is the Asia Pacific region. This is where the maximum growth is happening. This is where the maximum number of airports are getting built, and this is where the maximum number of passenger capacity is getting added every year and year. So to drive the global aviation, Asia Pacific region has to take the lead. And we believe, being the country India, to drive that Asia Pacific region, we have a very strong and major role to play. And we are committed to play that as a brother to all the members who are part of this Airport Council International, especially the Asia Pacific region. Our commitment is very, very strong. Our vision is very, very strong under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who envisions for the growth of this country and for the growth of the world, aviation has a very big role to play. And when you talk about aviation, the legacy gets created by the airports. So airports are the major ecosystems, major drivers in driving the ecosystem forward. So it is very, very important for all of us to openly discuss not about the challenges that we face, but the things that we are doing for the betterment of the society, of the environment, of the whole ecosystem together, so we can comfortably move forward and then learn from each other in the progress. So thank you once again for inviting me here. Very happy to see all of you. Welcome to Delhi once again. I wish you all the best for the 2 days of this conference. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.